So Warpets have become such an integral part of our everyday Call of Dragons gameplay. So in today's video, we're going to be ranking them from best to worst, showing you the best builds utilizing CODjunkies.com, and talk about what makes Warpets so good and so integral. What's up guys, Meower here back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. So Warpets have been out for quite a while and I think it's time to properly rank them in terms of their best of the best in terms of effectiveness, visibility, the ability to use them properly, the best synergies, and how in terms of damage and everything in between. So in today's video, we're just going to be going over this little tier list right here, going over every single warpet currently available in the game, giving you their rankings, in my opinion, the best builds utilizing COD Junkies, and well, just going over every single one of them. So without further ado, let's get started. Starting off, we're going to be going with the Berserk Fedrick. Berserk Fedrick, I think, deserves a spot in the A tier because, in my opinion, Berserk Fedrick is pretty much the highest damage in terms of pretty much everything. Like if you build a Berserk Fedrick properly, and we've seen it happen before, we've talked about this Warped before in terms of like the highest damage possible, we've come across a really high damage nuke. I mean, just looking at its talent, it can already deal up to 1k damage, and we're just gonna go with the very standard build right now, going over just, the two roars, and then followed by Fatal Bite, and just pretty much, go to Fierce Strike, and which one was it? Was it Intense Fierce Strike? Yes, I think that was the one. So pretty much we're looking at almost a 4,000 damage factor, and that's not even accounting for the proper attributes right now. So if we adjust the attributes correctly and slap this boy on any Frondel Theodore, you're essentially running a 3 commander rage cycling troop. So pretty much pretty strong, pretty overpowered, like in my opinion, the strongest Warped in terms of damage, but sadly it is locked behind exclusively Fyodor Ferrando. So next up, we got ourselves the Broom Bear. So Broom Bear is also seeing a lot of play lately. I've been starting to use Broom Bear quite a lot as well. It's pretty strong on infantry, especially, the best infantry march right now, Goris Gogol. Remember to Goris Gogol it. Right now, it's seeing a lot of rounds, it's seeing a lot of usage. It is an incredibly strong warpet. It doesn't have the highest of damages. However, in terms of if its effectiveness, it's pretty high, all things considered. So, pretty much the way that you build the Broom Bear or any infantry pet in general is that you go for the 3 talents: Counter Strike, Advanced Counter Strike, and then you go for Angry Roar, Blood Roar, and Fatal Bite, or you can swap out one of the roars for Tooth and Claw. It is up to you. However, this is the build that I would highly recommend, and I've seen some people run this build at all 3 stars and they just bulldoze everything, as it's essentially a third commander in your marsh as well, and this is reflected per legion attacking. So sky is the limit. It's pretty much pretty insane. Next up, Golden Rock. Golden Rock is a pretty strong warpet, but I will put it in the B tier as its main March is not seeing as much play as it used to. It's still an overall really strong warpet, and I think it has a lot of potential to deal a lot of damage, but we're just going to showcase the build as usual. We're going to go for the 3 exuberances. We're going to go for Fierce Attack and Intense Fierce Strike to increase the chance of it triggering. We never want to go for advanced fear strike, and then of course we go for the usual triple, double crit, and fatal bite pretty much. So this you can see here 333, and then one more strength. Boom, it jumps to 3.1k damage. Like, it's pretty insane, and we can adjust this calculator based on the attributes that we have. Of course, this is just showing you the builds that I would go for personally when building these warbits. Next up on the list, Ice Lizard. Ice Lizard, I think, is in the B tier, borderline C tier. It's a pretty strong warbit, don't get me wrong, but I think it was bugged. I'm not sure if it got fixed or not. It is also the pet for the Magret Zeta build that some people are using for mages. It has a pretty standard build. You go for I score, intense I score, and advanced I score. You go for magic fortune. You go for elemental harmony, and you go for magic spirits. Now, whether you go follow up or not is up to you. You can swap out Elemental Harmony for follow up, you can swap it out for something else. But personally, I think this 7 build is pretty much the go to for the Ice Pet. I don't think you should go for follow up on it. It's just not worth it, especially because it's a very niche pet. But if you do decide to go follow up, then you will have to remove Elemental Harmony and you're gonna have to put follow up and you get intense advanced follow up for the trigger chance and having it skyrocket more. And just like that, as we can see the damage, I stand corrected. This is pretty insane. And this is divided by 3. So per target, you're hitting for almost 1.1k. So pretty cracked, pretty strong overall. However, it's not the best mage pet. Nightrock is pretty insanely strong right now as well. I think Nightrock is definitely in the S tier due to how flexible it is and how strong it is right now. Now, do note this is missing, of course, the sand lizard. Sadly, we don't have it up on the. I think we forgot it for the tier maker, and it's not up on the website right now. But I'll talk about the sand lizard at the end of this video. But as for the Nightrock I think is pretty insanely strong. I like Chain Strike personally due to its interactions with how it works with all the archer stuff. However, I think people should not sleep on Intense Chain Strike. Now, you can swap out Intense Chain Strike for Tooth and Claw depending on the damage here. You can see here it drops to 2.8k. Yeah, Intense Chain Strike does a whole lot more damage overall than Tooth and Claw. So you go for the 3 talents, you go for Angry Roar, Bloodlure, Fatal Bite, and of course Chain Strike. Chain Strike and Intense Fear Strike. Chain Strike, I mean, and Intense Chain. I'll tell Roni to fix it later on. But yeah, you get the point. It's pretty cracked, pretty strong overall. Next up, we got ourselves the Frostbear. Frostbear is in the C tier. It is pretty pee pee poo poo, but it's not pee pee poo poo enough to be in the D tier. It is basically a Madeline exclusive Warpet. You go for the Frost Armor, Super Frost Armor. During Frost Armor, you go for Heart Wall, and of course, you get for Chain Counter Strike and Wild Counter Strike, and you can get either Tooth and Claw or you cannot get it. Like it's up to you. Personally, I don't like this bet at all, and I don't think you should invest in it at all because there's a better alternative to it, which is the Poison Lizard. Poison Lizard is automatic S tier in my opinion. It is so flexible. It works with every single infantry march. It works on Hoskanara. It is such a flexible warped that I think you should just go crazy with it. Now, which one was the extra damage here? Let me check because I don't want to give out the wrong information. Intense infection. So we go for intense. We don't need advanced infection because if you're using your march properly, you're gonna get full value from the pet anyways. So might as well, go for advanced counter strike and regular counter strike. You go for, of course, the trio of crit chance and crit damage. And for the last skill, you pretty much just go for Tooth and Claw, and there you have it. It is doing almost 2.7k damage per Legion hit, so it is pretty insane in my opinion, and honestly one of the best pets in the game right now. And speaking of the best pets in the game right now, Sapphire Fedrick is also up there as well. Sapphire Fedrick for mages pretty much make it a third mage commander in any build. Of course, you go for the triple intense pain blooms. You max out the stacks. You max out everything. Let's go here. Let's go there. We go for follow up, of course. I'm not sure if you go advanced follow up or not. It's up to you. But you go for magic spirits, of course. You go for magic fortune, and you go for resonance. And there you have it. And I think the last one you just go for advanced follow up. Advanced follow up increases the activation rate, and we can see here the damage dealt skyrockets to 4,000. Oh my god, it's so broken. But however, you have to divide this by 2, so you're dealing 2,000 damage per target. It's still pretty insane and still incredibly high. This is, of course, if we scale up to 9 targets, 9 stacks, it matters not, anyways. But still, it's pretty insanely high and one of the highest overall in the game, and it's also extremely guaranteed. Shadow Fedrick, I think, is in the A tier. It's a bit lower than the Sapphire Fedrick because, well, it is single target, and a lot of its budget comes from the debuff it applies. However, that debuff only applies to its uh, main legion, and I don't think you should do the advanced Shadow Hunter. I think it's a bait. I think you should do follow up instead, along with advanced follow up, and then you go for the trio of damage, damage, and more damage. Actually, you cannot go for magic spirits. Wait, where's the third? Oh, you cannot go for elemental harmony. However, you can go for magic spirits and you can go for resonance. All in all, pretty strong pet. Now, for your last skill, I think it will be up to you because, well, you cannot really go for anything else. You can try and go for intense follow up instead for the extra damage it does. However, it's all about that debuff it applies, which is 16%, which is pretty insane that you're dealing an extra 16% from your main march on to the target that you're fighting. Next up, we got ourselves the Snow Peak Rock. Snow Peak Rock is incredibly strong and incredibly underrated, actually, and I'm starting to fall in love with it all over again. It does insane amount of damage. It's pretty remarkably strong in general, and it hits like an absolute truck. So, looking at just the talent, it already deals an insane amount. We go for, of course, the Blood Roar, the Fatal Bite, and we round out the build with Chain Strike and Intense Chain Strike, pretty much. And there we have it. It deals 3.6k in single target. Pretty damn crazy high and strong. Stripe Bear, as requested by the OG Burger Man, is of course an automatic S tier. I'm just kidding. I would say Stripe Bear is in the middle of the pack just because it's good, but it doesn't have enough applications to really showcase how good it is. Because you can get quite a lot of HP with this one. You can get a tremendous HP bonus, like up to 31% HP when you're running this with Garwood, and we might see Garwood slowly creep his way into the meta again with the new Deathless Vines coming out. I don't like Tough Friendship, however, I will keep Enduring Friendship because it's an extra 3 seconds for 31% HP bonus, and then Heart War and pretty much everything else is just a pretty standard stuff. I don't like infantry pets that are not the venomous lizard personally, but still, the build is there. Finally, Thunder Lizard. Thunder Lizard, I don't even know what it's good for. I don't even know why it's still in the game. Personally, I think it just should be removed. It's pretty worthless. It's bad. It is bad. Like I'll show you the full damage of it. Like it's bad pretty much. Man's follow up, magic fortune. I guess I can take elemental harmony and magic spirits and round it up with resonance, but like it's such a bad pet. Like it's barely 1.7k. Like come on, it's bad. Now, for the Sand Lizard, which is one that I think we forgot to add to the tier maker, I would give it a B tier. Sand Lizard needs a very special build. You go for, of course, anything and everything that increases your healing. I don't like Sand Lizard. I don't have the perfect build for it, even though I have an amazing stat profile for it. But if I was to build it, I would give it pretty much everything that would include healing. So Tranquility, Intense Stone Aura. Nope, I wouldn't give it Intense Stone Aura unless you're running it on Magnet Zeta. Like all in all, I don't like this pet. I don't like this pet. I don't like to build it. I got nothing for it. I'll just say it's B tier, and the rest is up to you when it comes to the Sand Lizard. And there you have it, folks. I think that's everything related to war pets and putting them in a proper tier list. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have different opinions? Let me know in the comments down below or join the Discord. The link is in the description. Again, big shout out to COD Junkies, Roni, LTS Roni. I will leave the link. Oh, wait, it is in the website. Huh? Okay. So, Stone Aura. I don't like Intense. Advanced. Actually, I don't like this either. Go for Great Care. Divine Blessing. Tranquility. It's such a bad pet. I don't want to build this anymore. I don't want to build this anymore. Like, come on. It is such a bad pet. It does a decent healing, I guess, but like, come on. I don't want to build this. I'll leave this up to you. You can mess around with it. It's in the website, pretty much. He's covered every single Warpet there is to cover in the game. Big shout out to Roni. I'll leave the link to the website in the description. Check it out. This is the tier list. Sand Lizard will be right here in the B tier. But other than that, I think that's pretty much everything that you need to know about war pets. Of course, if you like content like this, please be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Join the Discord. The link is in the description. I would love to see you all there. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Meow meow. If you enjoyed this video, click here to watch the next video. Oh, meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.